Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 4, Rendition. And Joe and Phil are back here to, we're the chosen one. We're the chosen people to go through this final season of The Walking Dead and try to come up with really good stuff to talk about this particular episode of The Walking Dead. Daryl is back on Easy Street, and we get a chance to catch up with a character we didn't really even remember. And we got more dog backstory in this episode because I think AMC got a memo that people like dog. So they're writing as many dog moments as they possibly can put in any possible episode. We had an episode of The Walking Dead tonight. This was probably, just to get it all out of the way, probably my least favorite of the four, but we'll break it down. But I'm not alone, of course, to talk about The Walking Dead. I have with me, of course, Joe Dirty Locks. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing well. How you doing tonight?
I'm not doing very well, Joe. I had a tough time staying awake tonight, Joe. Can we talk?
Oh my God, this episode is so fucking good, Phil.
Can we talk about like how you're doing? How's the new job?
Oh, the job is great. I actually went in tonight to watch the football game with people. So.
Oh, excellent. Can we just talk about that? Can we talk about no? But did you really?
I was impressed. They lost by a point. What was it, 1 point, 2 points, something like that?
Did you really enjoy this episode of The Walking Dead?
Oh, the game was fantastic.
Not the game. We're not talking about the game. We're talking about the episode.
Dude, Walking Dead was so good. No tropes at all in this episode. That's what I really liked.
Right. Do you know what I really liked? I really liked the Von Kaiser guy from Punch-Out that we get as our new enemy this year. That seems like so not like a cartoon cutout version of other characters that we've gotten in the past. This guy... You know, he's so much better than the governor. He's so much better than Negan. He's so much better than Gareth. He's completely unique, different. What we're getting tonight, what we got tonight was the start of something completely unique for The Walking Dead. We're at the next level here, Joe. We've introduced this new enemy that's completely not like...
I haven't seen anything like him before.
Anything like it. And in no way is this almost spoofing what The Walking Dead feels like. In no way is it almost like watching Karate Kid 3 versus Karate Kid 1, where you had Johnny, you know, like a legitimate enemy to fight Danielson, and you know, people were outrageous, but they were believable enemies. And then suddenly in part 3, you get the dude with the ponytail, and you get Karate's bad boy, and they're just these like Joe, almost over the top. Okay, Joe, like truth be told, cut all the BS here. I have to say, I have to give the Walking Dead writers credit here for being sardonic in their approach here and kind of break the conventions of their normality and make fun of themselves in this episode by creating an obvious spoof of a character. That character wasn't serious. They weren't being serious with him, right? That had to be a joke. They were making fun of other things, right? That's smart. This episode was smart tonight, wasn't it? I think Joe is muted right now, or your audio suddenly didn't work for a second.
Yeah, no, there is nothing good about even their attempt here. If that's what they were doing, Phil.
Yeah, I'm gonna
give them. Giving them more credit than I am.
That's the credit I'm gonna give them here tonight, Joe.
Yeah. I'm
gonna wonder, and I'm gonna yeah. I love how much credence you give my thoughts tonight. But no, I had trouble at points in time in this episode when they needed me to take it serious. I had trouble not just straight up laughing. As much as Joe, you might have beat up, and we have in the live motherfucking chat tonight, whole bunch of awesome friends. We got Tamara, we got The Walking Dave, we got Bridge 4 in the live chat. We got STE. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen STE in a long time. I used to be under the name STE Slur, changed my actual name, so I haven't been around. I managed to wean myself off The Walking Dead at season 8, so I'm jumping in one last time to join you guys. One more time upon the breach. That's what we're all doing. We're struggling to get 20 more of these things to get through, and hopefully we'll get a couple good episodes. To me, this was not one of them. This again was just, all jokes aside, it was the same thing. And I don't mean to sound like Joe and
exactly the same. It was exactly listen.
So much of the same.
So when crazy dude decided
Pope
decides to push dude in the fire. Let me see it in chat now. Did anyone not think dude wasn't about to die horribly somehow?
Right.
Maybe not pushed in the fire, but shot in the back of the head, throat cut, knife to the back of the head. Like
Joe,
anything.
and in the
with a baseball bat filled with barbed wire or
Possibly
anything.
something like that. Angela Kang at the end of the episode, when describing what she's like, we came up with this new character that we're bringing on the show, had to prove himself to be unique and different from everyone the rest. So we needed to show.
Idiot. She's a fucking moron.
So we needed to show how unique and dangerous this man is at any point in time. He's a man that used to be a smart tactician and has now lost it. It's a fucking joke. This character.
And his yeah, okay, so this smart tactician guy, right? This is the first time we've heard like anything like, so now Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan took place in this universe. Okay, we know that at least, but like then the real war took place. Never seen anything like that. Yeah, neither did anyone else that's fucking alive right now and 20 years old.
And Joe, to your point that you've made this point, we're gonna get in the chat in a second. I'll catch up in the chat in a second. I'm just really like raging about this episode. I almost texted Joe in the middle. We're breaking this up. We're gonna talk about Oz season 1, episode 1, the routine. We're gonna drop this. We're gonna have a different subject. But to your point that you used to say about other leaders, mainly Negan, but you used to mention this about other leaders. This can't be, and Angela Kang said this, again, this isn't the first time he's done something like this. This is, he hasn't done this a lot. This isn't something he does often. Bullshit. The looks on their faces were like, he's obviously done this before. This isn't the first person he's done. And at that point, and if this is the first time he ever did it, right at that moment, how does not every single person in that camp go, fuck this, you're done. This guy's crazy. This guy's lost it. This guy's got whatever the equivalent is of being in the zombie apocalypse too long. He's got the apocalypsos or something. You got to get this guy out. We got to put this guy to Rick got the apocalypsos at one point in time. Like a lot of our characters do, and you just need to move along home, have what's her name, Daryl's girlfriend, take over for a while, because that's what's going to happen with this group anyway. This group has been set up as an obvious, okay, say whatever you want, and you will, Joe, say whatever you want about the Eugene Yumiko community story, but at least to me, anyways, that feels like endgame kind of stuff. We're in the end point where we're getting to a different level of a more organized community that might lead to some civilization type stuff. Whether it's being done well or not, at least it feels like you're leading towards the end of the game. This just feels like a jerk off with no cum. Like we're just getting these characters to just waste some time in this final season to pad out our episode count, because we need another big bad in here that's going to be the equivalent of the wolves when Carol took them all out no problem in one episode. This is a joke enemy that is going to be done within the next 2 or 3 episodes. By the end of this half a season, this enemy is going to be done, and I have trouble feeling anything in this episode. If anyone felt something other than frustration, you as well, Joe. It felt tension, fear for Daryl, anything, fear for those characters in the fire when they're stuck in the fire. Did you feel anything tonight, Joe, except for rage and pissed off at me for making you do this?
I felt confused as to why Daryl decided to schmear up there were no zombies around.
Oh, when he got it up, yeah.
Yeah, like I felt betrayed yet again at the obvious trope of pushing the dude in the fire at the end there. Like, oh, he betrayed, he like obviously turned and ran or something.
It's like, a crown for a king, Joe.
How many ways could he have like got injured between then and now on his back? But you're gonna say it's because he was running, and you're gonna throw him in the fire. Oh, okay, but obviously everybody knew some shit was gonna go down. I felt also
Joe, collect your thoughts for a second as I catch up in the chat here. Bridge says Phil has to put all those Dothraki bells in his hair so those foes can hear them tremble when they hear him coming.
You got me lost with the crown for a king there.
Oh, but yeah, that's almost like, because that's what, again, they're copying with the dark and with the melting his face thing.
Bringing up Afghanistan. What day is today? Today's the 12th?
12th, yep.
Today's the 12th? So the first mention of anything historical that happened in our time,
take the day after the 20-year anniversary,
is like, oh, we know when this is going to air that day, so like we're gonna bring up the Afghanistan war. That still happened, even though there's no such thing as zombies. Like, War in Afghanistan still happened. Yep, and they were there for. That's where they were when the fell.
Right, and then they came back and
possibly
and faced a different world altogether. STE Culkin.
Like, come on now.
STE Culkin, great to see you, buddy, and thank you for dealing with this. Yep, no, Joe, continue.
And I felt like I was getting a cheap. They were trying to take a cheap jab at my emotions.
Right, a cheap heart.
What weekend this was, and that made me feel dirty.
Right.
So what did I feel? I felt confused. I felt dirty, and I felt fucking betrayed, Phil. That's what I felt. That's how The Walking Dead made me feel tonight. You want me to show you on the doll where The Walking Dead?
Show me on Goofy
everywhere.
Show me on Goofy where Walking Dead touched Joe. Okay, so and I agree. I think there was a little bit in that scene, especially when she's talking a little bit too much, not a lot too much, pulling on your heartstrings and trying to distract you from the point that the show sucks. Let's Chalkboy. We get the Walking David in the live chat. Bridge, great to see Bridge. Joe is comatose right now. Chalkboy thought that Daryl was captured by Gandhi. Tamara says, where do you have all those boxes for? I'm moving out on the 26th of September. So Joe, watch football games. Well, I don't like to watch. Miss Duncan the Tall, great to see you, Miss Duncan. Tamara loves my hair. Thank you, Tamara. I think
they became mercenaries first, David.
Yeah, mercenaries first, I believe. I actually read an article about that echoed Phil's talking points about the last episode, saying the Reapers opt on Looney Tune physics. You guys are savages for still watching the show. Killmonger, we're just completionists at this point. With 20 episodes left at this point, we both feel like we're going to be stronger people when this is done. We can deal with anything. I'm here for Phil's hair and the awesome. Oh, thank you, Miss Duncan the Tall. You're amazing. Negan, Daryl was getting flashbacks of Easy Street. So was I, because it's basically the similar setup. Like when we saw him again in another cell all alone, except with less fun Negan-ness, all of it. And sorry, Joe, this guy made me miss Negan. And yes, I had to somehow figure out a Negan compliment in the middle of an episode that he's not even part of it. But, so go fuck yourself, Joe. But I do have to say, each one of these, it's like the movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
This time it's a religious zealot.
Oh yeah, it's so different. Right?
Like,
it's so different.
Well, let's see. We had the governor who was the political one, right?
Yep.
Then political crazy. We had the cops, which were like the cop crazy.
We had Gareth, who was cannibal. Gareth, yeah, he was like the Iron Chef crazy.
Iron Chef crazy, right? Then we have fuckhead Negan crazy, and then the weird zombies. You mean
hilarious comedic crazy is what you want?
Okay.
It was what you were looking for with Negan.
Sure, I guess that's what I was looking for.
That was what you were looking for.
We're zombies crazy, and now religious zealot crazy.
Good, I'm glad.
And we have the anti-religious zealot out there.
Oh yes,
that's gonna go all Carol on their asses.
Oh, Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel. He's gonna.
Yep.
He's going to be the
Gabriel. The right hand of God is coming.
The God is not here, Joe. God's not here. God's not here, bitch. He's going to turn into Freddy Krueger. Listen, bitch. Time to go to prime time, Walking Dead. We're going to get Freddy in this shit, too. Oh, we got Santivia Major. Hopefully Santivia and her family and everything's going wonderful. Lots of love from Joe and I to you, Santivia. Negan, Daryl's getting total flashbacks of Negan Street. Daryl is doing better than when he was on Easy Street. Brian Dodd says Joe looks healthy, and I'm going to speak for Joe like he isn't here. Joe's been working out, jogging, and shed probably like 80 pounds or something like that, since probably the last time some of these people saw you.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that,
Since last week.
Since last week, yeah. Joe shed 80 pounds. He's on a all vodka and pork grinds diet.
I'm on a Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Something diet.
Something diet. Killmonger Tamara. Great to see everyone in the live chat tonight. We have a awesome chat going. X Sword Stone Pope. The very first moment. That's the only interesting thing about Pope is I feel like in every scene he comedically looked like somebody else. The first time I saw him, he looked like John Locke. The second time I saw him when he wore the hat, he looked like the boxer Von Kaiser from the Punch-Out game. There was another one where he looked like someone else that flashed in my head.
He looks like, to me, he just keeps looking like
Robert De Niro playing a weird character too.
The dude in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, J. Jameson.
No,
give me pictures about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I don't know who. the what fuck it, where he was the also some sort of religious zealot, but he was fake, and it was really some other dude that was doing the
Oh,
shit.
you're talking about Iron Man 2 with the Mandarin.
The Mandarin, yes.
I'm
He
so
keeps
glad.
reminding me of like the fucking Mandarin.
No,
That's
totally. I
all he
totally
keeps
see it.
reminding me
I
of.
totally see that, and I'm so glad that we got that. You and I would be great on Password together. So it's great to see.
Oh fuck yes,
Dude, we killing it.
Dude, movie,
dude,
with
oh the
heroes.
the Justice League, the Snyder cut. You love that. Pope equals John Locke. Atari Dad, you know the idea of special ops guys in the apocalypse is a pretty good idea, but they completely messed it up. And I agree, it is kind of a good idea, especially when we faced off seeing the Stormtrooper guys. It would have been an interesting parallel to see another organized group, that like a big organized group of some kind. But I feel like they've dropped the ball on these guys right off the bat by making him comical, similar to the. Again, it makes Alpha seem palatable to me a little bit more. Like I'm laughing more at John Locke, Von Kaiser, Pope than I should be. I don't think they want me to be laughing at him when he's talking on screen. I think they want me to feel uncomfortable with the music that goes burm, 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 whenever he's talking. I think I'm supposed to feel like weird when I watch it. And going to play Walking David's voicemail in a moment here, but if you guys want to leave your voicemail or your thoughts, if I miss your comment in the comment section there in the chat box, please call on in at 781-990-8509. If you love this episode and you're loving The Walking Dead right now, tell Joe and I why we're effing idiots. We want to know, and we want to know why we're fucking idiots too.
And I'll tell you why you're fucking still drinking the Kool-Aid and every reason.
Exactly. Joe wants to pick you apart. Killmonger says Maggie should have been dead in that subway. Hell yes. Yep. Hell yes. Oh, awesome. Tamara's going to leave in a voicemail just to say hi. You should, Tamara. Pope looks like Gandhi.
What was the good reason, Atari?
I just want to know where did they get that much ammo, says Negan. I'm a little bit behind not to be confused with Pope from Falling Skies on TNT or Pope from Sons of Anarchy, which was played by Augustus Hill from Oz, or Michael from Lost, who is also the character named Pope. Best, you haven't even watched this. Hey Phil, did you get those tweets about the after show? Curious your thoughts on the subject. I did not get a chance to check that stuff out yet, but I will definitely get into that at some point. Thank you for those tweets. I will remember to get that. It should be a knife to the back of the head. Emerald, great to see Emerald. No more green stuff for Joe. Joe looks younger today. Just like Phil. It's because we're both clean shaven. Then they became, but we're really old. I mean, we're going to be walking in canes pretty day.
Walking Dead soon.
Yeah, we're going to be The Walking Dead pretty soon. You guys are going to be watching a far different show over the next couple of years as Joe and I continue to deteriorate. It's going to be fun. You're looking at the peak. We're only getting worse from here, guys. So, Jesus, another one. Phil going for that Geddy Lee look today. Oh, thank you. I take that as a compliment. Cops weren't even that crazy. They were kind of assholes. We're zipping through. You're goddamn right, Iron Throne. Joe started doing low carbs at the beginning of the year at 221. And Walking David. And Walking David's down to 195. I thought these stormtroopers were dumb in the comics, too. Alpha punished her followers over some dumb shit. At least this Pope guy had a legit good reason to get mad at that one guy for running away because he had because you know why, Joe? Because we go into it. We run into it. So,
yeah, stupid.
So Joe, we don't run away from. Speaking of stupid, we don't run away.
We're gonna go run into it right now.
We're gonna run into it.
Oh, we run into it. We don't run into it. We run into the fire.
Okay, let's do this thing. I think I spilled vodka everywhere. Alcohol abuse. Sorry if I missed some of your chats. If I missed it and you have something you definitely want to get in, feel free to text on in at 781-990-8509 or call in and leave us a voicemail. And obviously I'd be reading some of the live chat too. But if I missed some of your live chat, I am sorry. Thank you guys for being awesome tonight, as always, and making this fun for Joe and I as we set across this adventure for 20 more episodes of The Walking Dead after this. So let's start things off right with a message from our buddy The Walking Dead. Oh, let me shut off this music first. Play a little voicemail from The Walking David about his thoughts. We will be right back.
Bill, Joe. It's Rick Grimes. I don't know what AMC is doing. They keep throwing new villains of the week out there, acting like we haven't been watching this show for the last decade. I don't know what they want from us. The Reapers, there's nothing special about them.
You bite their face off.
They're just another dumbass, villain of the week. I mean, what sucks is that Daryl, he's a good actor. And that guy who plays John Locke or
John Locke,
whoever the fuck, that guy's supposed to be the Pope. He's a good actor, too. Except for the fact that his fucking voice and accent was all over the place. I couldn't tell where he was from.
He kept switching it.
Maybe you know. If you do, get back to me. But am I the only one who just absolutely thinks that these Reapers are just completely underwhelming? Oh, you guys used to be soldiers and killers before all this? Well, guess what? So was everybody fucking else. Anyways, I'm Rick Grimes. Miss you guys.
We love you,
Take
Rick.
care.
We love you, Rick Grimes. Thank you so much for calling on in and going through the conduit of The Walking David. As I've said before, make sure you check out The Walking David over there on the TikToks. He can share his screen name over there for all sorts more Rick Grimes stuff. But thank you, David, for that amazing voicemail and getting us in touch with Rick Grimes, because I'd be curious what he would think about this guy. Rick would be sick of the...
He would, how do you not do anything but laugh at him? Like, the only reason why Daryl hasn't started laughing is because there's 8 of them right there.
He is laughing, Joe.
He is laughing. Like, how could you... I've seen worse, he says.
I've seen worse.
Does he squirm? Did he squirm, Pope? Did you see Daryl wince once when your fucking friend got fucked? When you pushed your brother, your fucking nephew, whatever the fuck he is to you, Mr. Pope, in the fucking fire? His child? What? Like, you pushed him in the fire. Daryl didn't even wince. You best believe this motherfucker has seen worse. Everybody alive has probably seen worse because, zombie fucking apocalypse, you fucking asshole. Everybody went through it that's over 20 and alive. Maybe you don't remember if you're young enough. Maybe you don't remember if you were just born in this fucking world.
We do. We saw the younglings.
A fucking full-grown adult here. What the fuck is wrong with you? I never seen nothing like that before. Yeah, no shit. Lived through it, asshole. Fucking fall of Atlanta. What? 7 fucking million people? 5 million people live in that fucking town? Something over 1 million.
There's definitely over 1 million.
Are you fucking kidding me? I think maybe there's 1 million in fucking Afghanistan altogether, if that's where you were. I never seen nothing like it. Okay, I have. I've seen it. I've seen it over and over again. Did you wear your best friend's fucking brains? Like I did? Like, go fuck yourself. What?
Did you have to murder your brother? Like literally your brother, not Merle?
Like you waterboard. Like, here, let me wash your face. And then she fucking chloroforms him because what? Like, I'm not already tied up to a chair and don't know where the fuck I am? Are you moving my room, or are you just like putting me from a chair now onto a slab of wood that leans back? Because you didn't have to chloroform me for that. Oh wait, look, now you're waterboarding me. Oh,
so did
thank
she?
you for
No, wait.
Cleaning my face finally. That's what you told me you were gonna do in the first place. The drink of water was nice too.
Did she chloroform him? Because she did she fake? Why'd she fake out chloroform? What was with the whole?
What was the point of the fake out chloroform?
Well, it's like, I'm gonna wash you. Like what?
Did she rape him?
Yeah.
Did she rape him off screen? Like, did she get some roofie fuck on or some shit? Like, what was that?
She did say he smelled awful, but she looked into it.
Like scrub his balls or some shit while you're sleeping? Like, damn, what the fuck did you do to me?
I can't do this all on my own.
I was already tied up. You fucking chloroformed me?
Yeah, they didn't. That was it was a little redundant. The chloroform was a little redundant.
Where have you been keeping this shit? Did it go bad? You make a new batch?
I know, forget about the gas.
Where'd you get the fucking chemicals for it?
But you do know you need chloroform before getting waterboarded. I mean that they write that in the Jack Bauer handbook.
Which is like he smeared himself up with fucking goop for no reason. I think the reason was so that when they waterboarded him and he was all nice and clean afterwards, it was because, you know, like he got waterboarded. So we had to make it look like he was dirty before, even though, you know, nobody's been dirty on this fucking show forever.
No one's ever. No, not since Alexandria. Exactly. They all have perfect teeth. AK says Joe rants are the best. And we say rant time. I believe it. I can feel it in my bones, Ned. Iron Throne says zombies are coming.
Hasn't anybody died from an abscessed tooth yet?
I'm sure
that's
someone.
it. Period. Just a fucking abscessed tooth. That would be fucking awesome to see. Are you kidding me?
Or gingivitis. Fernandez T. Yeah, I'm about to just watch the last episode. Chat. Fernandez T. Great to see you in the live chat. Jake Cruz. Great to see you. Lizard. Has no one tried to eat this guy before? Rant. If Atlanta was a spawn point, would the zombies be created at the varsity? STE. Have they given us an updated timeline? Yes. I mean, for the overall series, how long has the apocalypse lasted? I think we've heard. I mean, we see kids that have been born and have grown. Where I see some kids, they have grown. You better know. But I say to myself, what a shitty world. But we're Judith and RJ. We can go by their age. Judith's age, who was born relatively at the beginning of it. She's what, like 10 or 11 now, something like that. Maybe 9, 10. How old would you assume Judith is at this point?
Well, let's see. By the time Rick left, she was already, what, like 5?
Right. So she's probably
She's
7.
at least 12. 10 years old.
10. We'll say 10. So the apocalypse has roughly been going on about 10 years, 10, 11 years. Well,
I'm thinking 12 years.
12 years.
Apocalypse was 12 years. I came to that conclusion at some point. I could be wrong. I got a 12 year.
Is it 2020?
He's 11. It's 12 years.
Is it 2022 in Showtime right now? Like on the show right now, is it 2021?
I don't know. When do they consider the fall having happened? Have we gotten a date from them? Have they mentioned it? They're trying to stay away from giving us any kind of real. They only say like 5 years in the future.
But in fairness to your point earlier, this was the first time that we've gotten anything close to a timetable that Afghanistan war happened. So the fall had to happen sometime after 2011 and somewhere between 2011 and 2021 or something like that. So you have to figure
2011. Why 2011?
2001. So we know that.
I think the war started. Yeah, 2000.
I guess that's what I'm saying. That I think it probably started in 2011 is what I meant to say. I think from the.
We'll go by whatever date it was that the show started.
Yeah, but
whatever year that was.
But to answer your question, no. We're confusing ourselves and talking ourselves into redundancies right here because there is no answer to that question. They have not given us concrete details. This was the first time, like I said, that they've ever brought up something that is even a time referential to history, to a historic event.
Right. Exactly. Like I don't remember.
I can't remember.
They might have vaguely, and I'll say sure. I won't say no. Maybe one of the cops said something about being in the war or something. And mentioned location too, but like mentioning location and all that shit, just bringing it up, and like it being the weekend it is, really fucking like that's fucking cheap. That's just fucking cheap, and you make me as an audience member feel dirty that you fucking did that.
We got Cadigan in the live chat, and yes, sorry everyone, it's timeline discussion.
Like, yeah, your show isn't good enough to stand on its own. You got to fucking try to pull on some fucking heartstrings on this weekend because with that shit.
So
like, go fuck, like straight up. Go fuck yourself. And there are a lot of people out there that won't even make that connection. Their heartstrings were already pulled and that shit gets mentioned and they just start thinking and they don't even fucking, and it's not because they're dumb or anything like that. It's because she can go fuck herself for that writing, for having in probably planning for that episode to be this weekend or leading up to this weekend.
I mean,
and all that shit. Like she can, like Walking Dead and AMC, they can really go fuck themselves for that. That's such a cheap fucking move.
Yeah, it's
absolutely fucking dirty.
It's such a ball suck or a labia lick. It's like it's trying to give you those heartstring moments to just go right to it. By the way, guys, I'm struggling right now, and I need food to feed my dog. So I really would appreciate some super chat donations. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to. I'm just kidding. But that's the kind of thing it's doing. It's by the way, guys. If you're watching this show, you know you're gonna kill the puppy. If you're gonna kill
Lotus has cancer, and every time we don't get a donation, the tumor gets bigger.
Yeah, Joe. Exactly. Help us, please. Don't really help us. Knock on wood. Lotus is fine. But that's
help us for the right reasons.
But
not
that's
because Lotus is dying.
Yeah, because you want to get
She is dying. Help us.
She is. Help us. We need your help. But that's the kind of thing they're doing.
No, we gotta do that. That's next month's pitch. Lotus will have breast cancer.
Right, breast cancer. Dog awareness month.
Right.
That
like I'm not trying to make light of it.
Oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay. You're talking to a survivor here, Joe.
Yes, I know.
I know you're not. I do not take offense to your use use of the C word, Joe. Thank you. And we got Changa in the live chat. Yeah, and agreeing with us. Great to see Changa in the live chat. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Yes, that was a shameless ploy. It really was. It was a not so obvious shameless ploy. And Joe, thank you for pointing that out, because to your point, and I know you weren't insulting me by saying that, I did not necessarily even pick up on that. It was sort of like one of the.
You see what I mean? Like, no, I'm not like, as soon as it was mentioned, the moment he said fucking Afghanistan, it rung like bells in my fucking head that they even mentioned anything about actual American history or any kind of shit like that. Like, just mentioning it rang bells. And then I was like, wait a second, it's fucking September 11th today, leading up to this week when they fucking aired that since last weekend. Are you kidding me?
Negan says his Google says it started in the apocalypse started in 2010. Okay,
right, there you go.
So before we get into the recap here, we haven't even started yet. Here's a couple of inspirational words from Angela Kang at the end of the episode. The inspiration for the masks were from. Oh wait, I gotta play appropriate music for this shit. Oh, what just happened to my? I'm sorry, texters. I just accidentally screwed off that. There we are. I'm back. Let's play some appropriate music for this stuff right here.
Oh my god!
What's up, Joe?
The fucking soundtrack when the bassy. I forget
when Pope is introduced.
Oh yeah, when Daryl comes out. No, I think it was like when Daryl comes out and there's the staring going on and the fucking like the bassy fucking cliche like fucking soundtrack they started playing for his introduction. Like, it might as well have been like
Joe, it was something like this. It was like
yeah, it was
down. Imagine someone
just clip that, Phil.
Yeah. Imagine someone tuning in at just that point of the podcast. I was like, you guys got to check out this podcast.
We should put that on one of those like sound channels.
I think that should be. I think we definitely need to clip that. So let's listen to Angela Kang's words of wisdom for this episode. Okay, the inspiration for the mask were from the military, and it's like post-apocalyptic stuff. And Joe, to your point, she admitted in this session after the episode that the masks for the characters that they picked, part of her inspiration for that were
like Skeletor.
We're watching. She said multiple things like apocalyptic stuff. She said post-apocalyptic video games were a big influence on them during this mid-off season.
Oh,
dude, she directly.
Yeah. I called you on that shit, you fucker. I called you on that shit 2 episodes ago, and everybody fucking saw me say it, and so now you're gonna come out and fucking admit to it? Man, that bitch, she been watching our show from the fucking beginning, Phil. She been watching from the beginning, and every time we bring this shit up, every time we call her on this shit, they come out, they fix the Carol scene, they fixed all of this, fucking Phil. They fixed it. They are fucking one. We called them, we left that message, and they've been fucking following us since and ripping our shit off and fucking and making excuses around all the little bullshit we called them fucking on. Oh yeah. Oh bullshit. Pay us, motherfucker.
Pay us. Fuck you, pass. Now,
Us.
Cadogan, that's exactly why I'm mentioning it. She also said she always planned to have Daryl meet up with what's her name again. That was always gonna happen. Whatever. That we're coming back into characters that grew up in a pro Jack Bauer world, so torturing and waterboarding is normal to these guys. So don't hate on them too much.
And that's why they brought it up, because he's waterboarding. Because he's waterboarding the motherfucker.
Right. They needed to explain. She needed to explain that they come from a different age. Ricky Costa is the guy that they got to play Pope, and she started licking his labia, saying that they were so lucky to get him. His take on the character was just so outrageous and interesting. They had to cast him immediately. You mean the buggy eyes and the warped?
You mean what'd you call him earlier, Phil?
Von Kaiser?
No, the other one. What did I call him? I don't remember. That's how memorable he was.
But whatever.
The Mandarin.
The Mandarin, yes. And the waterboarding. Oh my God. Atari Dad says turn off the outro music. I get Pavlovian dog. I'll have to go to bed. Didn't we say that Daryl's blood drip was cut from a video game scene? Yes, and I'm just saying, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is she kind of admitted a couple of things that just slipped out. She said it in passing when talking about the Screechers. What are these people called? The Reapers masks. But she did say we look at all sorts of apocalyptic kind of stuff, and she specifically mentioned post-apocalyptic video games. I wonder which game she's talking about. So, but I guess that's all I'm saying.
The music, they ripped the soundtrack for a few scenes, and the whole subway, all that stuff. Dude, they like scenes seemingly that you're going to see coming up in an upcoming show on HBO. They're trying to rip off
and do it early.
What are some of the heavily relied upon things and themes from that upcoming show that have already been established through that video game series.
We don't need to say the name.
They are blatantly ripped off.
We don't need to say the name of the show. You know what show we're talking about. Okay, so let's just start this episode. Enough of Kang's bullshit. We see Daryl at the battle of episode 2. He sneaks off just when shit goes. He sees all his friends start to die, and he sneaks off to try to, I don't know, sneak around and get one of them. But he's not getting away. He's faced off with a guy, gets trapped, and he throws his crossbow at him, and they fight. Dog joins in the fight, but gets captured, and we hear a yelp.
Dog gets thrown,
and he yelps. We see 2 more guys come over.
No, dog!
And Daryl goes, no, dog! And he just keeps going over, and he escapes, and one of the Reapers hisses at him. The next morning, Daryl, for some reason, I even said this in the notes too, Joe, excuse me, for some reason is covering himself in guts.
But no zombies around.
Is it so Dog doesn't get his trail?
And that's what I'm thinking. Is he trying to hide from fucking Dog in case Dog is still alive? Because that's the only thing that's gonna. Does he already know that that's his girl?
No, I don't think he knows.
I don't think so.
I think maybe he's afraid that they may use Dog to track him. Could that be it? Everyone, 1 second while possible. Joe and I go inside Daryl Dixon's mind.
That's a possible reason. That's the only reason I could really think of.
Joe, let's get in Daryl Dixon's mind here.
No, they're not going to track that dog any better than they could track Daryl probably better than they'll be able to track the dog.
Yeah. Wait, I'm trying to get in Daryl Dixon's mind.
Like, wonder how this zombie's all freshly cut up with a knife and guts, all piled up in this area out of its.
I'm smelling kind of clean, so maybe if I put this stuff on me, I'll smell normal. I don't know. I can't quite get into Daryl Dixon's mind right now. If anyone can help me, please leave a voicemail 781-990-8509. Okay, so Daryl's covering himself in some guts and he's on his way, and then we get a good-looking visual shot of Daryl as he hears Dog, and then
Daryl Dixon calls in.
That would be amazing if we get
and explains himself.
I think we might need
the fuck now.
I think we may need a call from Daryl. And there's and we get some Reapers. One of the Reapers
Daryl!
with Dog. Daryl says, "Let my people, Dog, go." And then the Reaper takes his mask off, and we know her. It's And I had to look it up because I didn't know her. I mean, I knew her. I was like, oh, that's Daryl's girlfriend from that episode. But I didn't know her name, so I had to look it up. Her name's Leah. So Leah, Dog's mom, they never thought they'd see each other again. She asks if he's alone, and he says, I don't see anyone here. He does the whole Robert De Niro thing. He's like, but I don't see anyone here anyway, so I guess I'm fucking alone. And who are they? Daryl, who are these people you're with?
Then we're gonna get the you left me, I left you, you left me, you left me.
And then we get that whole back and forth where he left, but he came back, and she left before, but she still loves him. I still love you. I still want you, but I don't care about you.
Reiterate, you knew exactly. You asked him what he was doing. He said, "I'm looking for my friend. I can't stop till I find him. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop." And then she was like, "Choose between me or your friend." And she told you I was on a mission.
I agree, Negan.
Do it with me, but still on my mission. It'd be nice for the help, but Negan, I guess I'm gonna go off and do my mission. You're breaking up with me then? All right, bye.
Oh no, she didn't just breaking up. She's just piecing. She's just Dear John. We said at the time she sent him the zombie equivalent of a Dear John letter in that situation. Negan says his reaction was just too cold when he saw Leah. I expected something else. And this is, again, I'm sorry. I think Norman Reedus can, and I've seen it. Sorry, Merle Davis in the live chat. I've seen him be. Give me a shut the fuck up. But I've seen Norman Reedus be a good actor. I know he can do it. But on The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon has one expression on his face.
Always the same one.
And then he turns his head a little bit. It's like a dog. It's interesting that they matched him up with a dog. You know, when you say your dog's name, you go Lotus, and instead of making a different expression in the face, the head just turns. Like that? Like they can hear you? That's what Daryl does. He always has that same look on his face. He's locked in that... you mentioned it earlier, Joe. He constantly has that poker face. I wouldn't want to play poker with Daryl Dixon. He's just sitting there like... the whole time. Right, the whole time Pope is doing everything. You just see Daryl's look in his face. And I actually thought that was some decent acting by Norman Reedus. We'll get to it at the end of the episode. When he's just looking like... and you can see... and that's one of those weird TV tropes, Joe, that always bothers me. When the good guy character is supposed to be undercover with the bad guys, pretending to be a bad guy, and the bad guy does the bad guy thing to impress the new team member. You know, it happened on
it's in everything.
Happened on Star Trek: The Next Generation, when Riker and Picard joined the criminal group, and one of them has to kill the other one. There's always the thing.
It's so stupid.
And you always know the person looks at him like, Joe, I know you're not into this. I know you're not into, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and because you're on my team now.
Because we tortured you, and now you're our brother.
Yeah,
you love us.
I mean, I torture you, and you're still my. I torture you every week, and you're still my brother.
No, it's not you that tortures me.
That's true. It's true. This is the only way we hang out. So
this isn't the torture. Yeah, this is nice. The
discussion isn't the torture. Yeah, resting Daryl face, Chalk Boy. I'm more concerned about Dog than Leah, that resting Daryl face.
Right?
Santivia, absolutely.
These motherfuckers, they're gonna eat Dog once they get hungry enough.
Yeah, he looks like Swordstone X. Yes, he looks like he's going to puke. I want to bring back an old thing I used to say when I was younger that I think is very relevant here. Daryl has bad lunch face. He looks like he smelled some bad lunch. I say this sometimes when I'm entertaining large groups of kids. I say, everyone make bad lunch face. It's like,
exactly.
Bad lunch face. And Daryl always has a little bit of a bad lunch face. They didn't torture him. They gave him a shot.
Listen. Same thing. If you've ever slept outdoors in the rain in the kind of shelters we've seen Daryl make, guess what? You've been waterboarded in really cold fucking weather. So
he's like, thank you for the deep cleaning. You know,
exactly. Yeah. Can you scrub behind my sack while you're at it? Some of the water's dripping down there. Thanks.
Honestly, and I've said this so many times, my throat hurts, but that's what The Walking Dead needs to do right now. Daryl needed to make a comedic comment back to him right there in that moment. Some sort of comment like this is like breakfast time for me, or some stupid wise ass comment that a funny.
If you're gonna waterboard someone in the zombie apocalypse, why aren't you using the bucket everybody's been pissing in? Why hasn't everybody been pissing in one of these buckets for the last week so that they can fucking waterboard one of their people with a bucket full of fucking piss?
Your Highness,
that's how you start this.
Yeah, you go
like with water. Are you kidding me? Thank you.
Could you?
That was refreshing.
The first.
And you filtered it through a burlap sack for me.
Yeah, that's like putting your vodka through a Brita filter to make Tito's. It's just like what. Fucking A. No, I am with you on that one. I'd ask for more water at that point, says Negan. Yeah, it's like you call over the piss boy, for Christ's fuck. And yet,
can we do enema next, please?
Absolutely.
I haven't had a alcoholic in a while.
Holy shit, Joe. We got a super chat donation from the Naughty Moose. The Naughty Moose. Great fucking name, Naughty Moose. That thumbnail is bad lunch face. That's exactly why I picked that thumbnail. It's absolutely Daryl bad lunch face. For you, I'm going to do my version of a speedball right now. I'm going to take a shot of vodka and then chase it with a little bit of Coca-Cola here. And and Joe knows I don't drink this stuff that often, so I get this is my caffeine buzz before the show after falling asleep from The Walking Dead. Here we go. The wheel will be back when I get into the new location. You might be able to see it behind some of the boxes, but it's trapped under some of those boxes. Oh, we do. I think we might have gotten our voicemail from Daryl Dixon in the live chat. We'll get to that in a second. Someone left a bad Daryl voicemail, but hey, whatever it is, David, it's probably better than Joe or I's. So let's see what Daryl has to say about all this.
Hey, all right, you want to know what I was thinking? Fine. I put on guts because it's an excuse to get dirty before getting waterboarded later on. Why? I guess you could say that love makes you do crazy things. And then it cuts to, like, the trailer, like, this fall, Daryl Dixon falls in love.
We love you, David, and we're gonna definitely have you join us on one of these in a couple weeks. When I get settled into the new place, maybe on the season finale or something, we'll have you join Joe and I on one of these and put you through the torture as well. But thank you so much. I tried to break him for half a season, says Negan. It didn't work, and he had music and fucking what's his name? Eugene was in another room playing Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo Sega Genesis. When they were at Alexandria, they couldn't picture this. It was ridiculous over there at Negan's place up there at the Sanctuary. Was that what Negan's place was called? Okay, so Daryl's brought in masked and he can't see it. It's a good visual, Joe, of like the visual we see.
Why are they carrying him?
Because we needed that visual.
Is the kid can't walk?
We needed the visual.
I need the workout.
Because they needed to use the fucking
What the fuck? We can't let him count the amount of steps it is from the door of the entrance to our compound.
Joe, we're a secret. Listen, Joe, we're a secretive people. We rush.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why are they carrying him? He's got 2 fucking feet.
Cattigat says, damn, we got Rick and Daryl calling you guys. Yeah, I mean, and we got Angela King listening to us and giving us, directly talking to us in our after show notes. I mean, come on. We might not get the views we used to, but the right people still watch us.
Right? I guess. And that's the truth.
We pissed off all the diehard Walking Dead fans.
They're not taking the advice in advance, though. They're just explaining why they did the stupid shit poorly.
No, they're not. And it's so great to see. Welcome back, AK. Thank you, AK, for popping on in tonight, and thank you, Santivia, as well. I would appreciate someone carrying me to have a break of the walking. Yeah, exactly, Negan. The way I've been feeling lately, I would love it if I just had a Hodor to carry me around everywhere I go. I mean, you can what's that stuff called again? The shit you can put. What they put on his face? I'm blanking on the name of it. Chloroform. Like, you can chloroform me anytime if you want to carry me from place to place. Right? That is okay. Don't kill me or anything. But if you want to transport me that way.
And anything else you want to do to him during that time period is okay, as long as he stays chloroform.
What happens in a catatonic state stays in a catatonic state. Stays.
No pictures, though.
No pictures.
I don't want to see what you did.
You know, in Fifth Element, when they just like put out Bruce Willis went to go to Floston Paradise, when you're on the big spaceship, they're just like go to sleep. I mean, just put me to sleep with Rudy Rod and the rest of them. It's fine. So Daryl's brought in. He's masked. We get the Daryl perspective, which is a decent camera angle and a decent edit. we hear someone say, let's see if you're right. Daryl, he says, he comes back, he looks everywhere, and it's Daryl's girlfriend. And basically we get this whole thing back and forth. She's my family, I'm your family, you're my family, blah, blah, blah. You left this group. I don't know. We just see some visuals of these new bad guys as he starts being tortured. We already talked about all the waterboarding in the scene. She says she's going to wash him off and clean him up and make him feel good. And you smell like shit, Daryl. And who are your friends? And when you didn't answer the question, she decides to fake. Again, I'm trying to understand I'm trying to have clear thought here. So she asks him to be honest right away. He isn't honest right away in the way that she appreciates.
Okay, now
so
why do we not think he's honest?
Because she read the script. She read the script.
Okay.
She read the script, and there needs to be some tension here. Because, again, in every one of these scenes, no one ever, in any scene like this ever, has taken someone's word for the first time. You're not allowed to do it. By the law of cinematic cheesiness, you're not allowed to take someone's honesty first. You need to torture them. That's the only way. It's the only way, because we need to get a waterboarding scene, because we need to see the cool visuals of Daryl seeing people in
makes no sense to me.
Excuse me, in strobe effect. It doesn't make sense to me either, to be honest with you. So for some reason, she faked out, washed him, and then pulled out some chloroform out of her back pocket, knocked him out, and then he woke up to be waterboarded.
Why? Why?
Why? I don't know, because first of all, The Walking David gave us a super chat donation. He says, run into the fire, gentlemen, which means take another drink. Thank you guys are getting us fucking drunk tonight. Thank you for your super chat donations. If you have a drink right now, no matter where you are, what you're drinking, water, anything. Fernandez, I know you're at work right now, but find a sip of water for a second and toast to The Walking David into the moose for our 2 super chats tonight. You guys have been amazing. It helps out more than you guys know. So toast to you. It's so much easier to be a little drunk talking about this episode. So he is interrogated. The other 2 guys are, where are your friends? Tell me all about your friends. And one of them's like, let me keep torturing him. He'll know something. But we get a sense from Leah. Again, is that her name? Leah. Okay, we're going to talk about something about the episode, if we can stomach it. I know for a fact that Daryl's faking it, because even if I questioned it, or if the acting or if the show wanted to create some tension and make it seem like Daryl might be making a questionable choice by siding with his girlfriend over his friends, because he did give up an awful lot of information, Angela King screwed that over in the end of the episode when she told us all that Daryl's absolutely 100% faking. Thank you for ruining even though I probably knew that anyway, thank you for ruining any fucking drama. So what we're going to try to talk about here, since she's making it easy for us.
They're releasing the episode
a week ahead of time.
As she's saying that,
the next episode is out.
People are watching the next episode as she speaks. Why not say it then? Because we're kind of watching the week behind.
We're a week behind. Yeah, and
we're not paying the AMC bullshit.
Right. Exactly. We're on principle. We don't care about the views right now. We want to be a week behind. On principle. Fuck you, AMC. We're not paying for your bullshit.
Yeah, we had to watch it weekly on the premiere night.
And if you do this to this, I'm gonna fucking be so fucking pissed off, assholes. So
what did you just do?
I put a picture of Bob Odenkirk. So okay.
Of who?
Bob Odenkirk. Saul Goodman. So my question is, does Leah love Daryl, and does she actually feel bad about what's going on here? Is she questioning her decisions with Pope? And is this all going to end with Leah killing Pope, taking control of this group, and joining our other group to help save them with food and all sorts of stuff?
She's going to join Daryl's group as new family and help Daryl kill all of them.
Right, but so her and Daryl together will take down Pope.
Because she knows Pope's crazy now, because he just killed one of our brothers for nothing.
Right. Do you think Pope sees any more of our group, or Daryl and this girl killed Pope before he's even more of an issue? Does Pope make it past these 4 more episodes we have, I think?
Why? I mean, why?
Why would he? Does he die in our midst?
I can't. You can't predict The Walking Dead's predictability.
It's true. It's true. It's because they may decide just to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, we got Nani Moose for another Super Chat donation. Well, here's another shot of Hennessy for me.
I'll be back in a second.
Don't hurt yourself now. Don't want you to feel obligated to drink every time you make the show interesting for a non-fan like me. Nani Moose, no, that's part of the deal. You guys are amazing enough to give us these Super Chat donations. We have to give you something back in return, and that is definitely at least at minimum take a shot. And at maximum, we're going to spin a wheel eventually and come up with a prize. I'm taking half shots. I think I heard Joe just pick up a bottle. So here we go. Toast for you. Thank you for that other Super Chat donation. You and Walking David have been extra amazing tonight. Thank you to everybody for help saving my dog. Every Super Chat donation tonight goes to the Saving the Lotus Fund, because that's what matters here, folks. Saving my dog. And your Super Chat donation saved my dog's life. I'm kidding. So she'll pull a Negan on Pope. I think so too. I think there's going to be some sort of she's going to be the one that takes down Pope. I think they foreshadowed the fuck out of it in tonight's episode when the look on her face when he was burning the dude's face.
Yeah, she was discussed. Either we're all family and you don't do that to family. If you do that to him, you'll do that to all of us.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there's a
no, and that's your
ways
point,
he
Joe.
could have gotten those fucking wounds on his back.
And all respect to the man who is in the chat right now, Negan himself, Joe. You've made this point ad nauseum about the people at the sanctuary. How the fuck are they still following him after all his fucking verbal abuse, torture shit? And same with, you said that about almost every single one of our leaders. These groups of people, how are they following these guys? This dude, right off the bat, even if he hasn't burned someone's face before, he's obviously a sort of authoritarian kind of leader, and he's lost. He's a few sandwiches short of a picnic going on. So obviously they're questioning his leadership to a certain extent. And why are they still fucking following him?
Here's the thing, Phil. If I have a gun on me, and if I think, okay, if I'm in a group like this at the apocalypse, right, and it's small or big, and I think for a moment this leader of ours might kill me for no reason, or I see him do that to one of the other group for what I perceive in my own rational thought of a head, right, to be unreasonably, then he must die.
Yeah, he has to. He has to.
Because I might be next.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So he's got to go.
No,
like if there is a reasonable reason, like,
unless he has a lot of bodyguards around him that can just nonstop stop him.
Right? The next time I have a loaded gun, he's dead. If I don't have a loaded gun, I think I could take him hand to hand. I do that. Because one way or the other, this guy's either going to kill me, get me killed, or I'm going to kill him now.
Yes.
Right?
Joe, we have a couple
of... I have a baseball bat, I just turn and crack right like he did to this dude. Yeah. Like, hey, you apparently think it doesn't matter. I can do it when you don't see it coming because you're a cowardly piece of shit. All right. In return shall come.
I don't know if it's done before that, but it seems like every one of those scenes is trying to replicate the excitement of the Untouchables scene.
Untouchables.
The movie The Untouchables, when De Niro was playing Al Capone, walking around and he hits the guy with the baseball bat, and it actually made sense in the moment because that guy was a rat and everyone knew it. And again, in the context of the scene of the movie, it made a lot of sense of why. And we have two Super Chat donations we'll catch up with in a second here. But in the context of the movie, The Untouchables, it made sense. But I don't know if that was the first scene of a bad guy hitting one of his underlings like that. But it seems like
a Fredo scene.
Like killing your brother, Fredo?
Yeah, because they're family too.
They are, but that wasn't not exactly the roughness kind of scene I'm talking about.
No, it wasn't, and he didn't do it himself.
No, I mean this was more of a shocking
speech before,
right? And there was a lot of stuff that went into it, and stuff that Fredo did to Michael, without getting into Godfather spoilers, that led into that. Whereas De Niro just kind of picks some guy at random. To the audience's perspective, and so many movies and shows have done that trope since then, where the bad guy is walking around and the Joker goes, "Time for practice." Ooh, you want to see a magic trick and see a pencil disappear? Great scene. But pencil disappeared. You got to kill one guy. You got to kill one guy. You got to do it. You got to kill the one guy to show how bad the bad guy is. And I don't know what the first movie to do that was in my mind, in my memory.
But it's been done so many fucking times. If you haven't seen it already, you saw it tonight and you'll see it again. This is horrible. This is the part where I feel betrayed as an audience member, Phil.
Holy shit. Plot twist.
Right?
First of all, and absolutely, Joe. And The Walking David, with our first super chat we got to catch up with, says, plot twist, the last episode of The Walking Dead, Pope wakes up and it was all a coma dream. We call that the St. Elsewhere Walking Dead ending. And which was what St. Elsewhere, if people don't know what show that is, that was a medical drama in the late 80s. Early
Begley Jr.
Ernie Hudson, Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel and dude from Babylon 5, Stephen Furr.
Great cast, great show. Tom Fontana, who eventually worked on Oz, had a big hand, used to direct episodes. That's how Ernie Hudson.
What's his name from Boy Meets World?
Yeah, Principal. Yes. Ed Picardo. Or no, I know. No, I know who you're talking about. No, I'm confusing him with Robert Picardo. But yeah, great cast, great show. Whole thing was all in the dream of a little kid, looking inside a snow globe. It was during that.
Well, outside of that, the building they used was a building in Boston. Did you know that, Phil?
I did not.
Not the building they filmed in. I don't know where it was filmed, but for the opening credits, the St. Elsewhere building is a building that I don't know if it's been torn down since, but it was a building in Boston.
In my best Dana Carvey, I did not know that.
It's supposed to be a Boston hospital, I believe.
Fernandez T says, if I break this super chat into 5, you have to take 5 shots. Yeah, if you technically right now, if you had sent 5 $2 super chats instead of the one $10, I would have to have taken 5 shots instead of 2. No. Now you have to send 5 more $10 shots. It's always whatever your second donation of the night is. Okay, so no, but he's saying if he initially, thank you, Joe, for doing that. He's saying that if he initially had sent that $10 in 5 $2 increments, yes, we would have had to take 5 shots each. Or we would have had to take 5 shots. So Lizard says it's a cult mentality based on survival belief. It's the only way that you can survive. And I guess in this way, it does make a little bit of sense. Fernandez, thank you so much for that super chat today. You were fucking amazing. Review Boy Meets World. That would be awesome, says ALE. Fun fact, with all the shows that crossed over with St. Elsewhere and all the shows that crossed over with them, like half the network television takes place in that damn kid's head. I love that, Atari Dad. That's a good fucking point. So let me continue into this a little bit. Daryl stuck to his guns through. He refused to let the waterboarding affect his secret about the rest of his companions. He insisted that he was traveling alone and he only saw them for trading food purposes. Even through this torture, the question I asked Joe before, and I'm asking
Feeney,
does Leah have feelings still for Daryl? Is there love there? Are you still shipping them, Joe? Do they have zombie apocalypse future? Is she gonna end up like Lydia from The Whispers, the one, or like Maggie's dude that we left last week from Negan's people? Like, is she
left for exact same reason why Daryl said he left, because I was catching fucking feelings.
Right.
That's why they both fucking were like, I'm out of here. Daryl was like, don't pull that fucking ultimatum bullshit on me. I told you what I was doing, bitch. And he went off to go do it, and he came back, and she was like, well, I caught feelings too, so I gave you that ultimatum shit, and you chose badly. Maybe I would have gone with you, but I didn't. Instead, I was a douchebag, and now I'm not here anymore. Bye. Keep my fucking dog, you asshole.
Keep the dog. Yeah, don't take the dog. He likes you better. He likes you better anyways. Everybody, I forgot to take one shot for David's super chat, but David, thank you so much, buddy, for your super chat. And thank you to David, Fernandez, and Moose for your super chats tonight. You guys are incredible. We love everyone in the live motherfucking chat, but the super chatters, you know, we do play favorites. No, I'm kidding. We love all you guys the same. Thank you so much. You guys are incredible. Thank you for joining us tonight for this fun adventure. As horrible as the walk,
I love the people that super chat donate more.
Joe
just like Phil said.
Joe does. Just like that's what Phil said. I'm following what Phil says. Thank you for saving my dog's life tonight. So he traded with them, blah blah blah. She locks him up, and the dick guy says to her, "You never should have brought this dude back." Daryl locked up for a big chunk of the scene. We hear another person. Now, somewhat confusion, but I think I get it. Did this person who was another one of Daryl's people get what Daryl was doing?
Yes, they were doing eyeball rolls.
Okay, my screen was a
I'm
little too
telling you really loudly and looking up the hallway so that they hear me, but hopefully don't see me doing this, looking up the hallway.
Joe, that's like us.
Tell them we know each other,
Joe,
because I don't know you, asshole.
Joe, that's like you and me on a poker table being like, I'm going to tap my chips 7 times if I have a full house.
No, you know what it's like? You know what it's like? It's exactly like a story I just told the other night to my brother-in-law. It's exactly like the day we got pulled over in Concord.
Oh, yes.
Remember when that cop came over to my fucking window and I rattled off a huge fucking story to them, and they pulled us out of the car one at a time, and y'all fucking answered perfectly. Exactly what I said.
We repeated the story. We repeated the story.
Exactly what I said.
We worked but we were working it on the way up.
Well,
when we were in the car, we saw it. We were like, story, check. We don't have to get into the details, but we were like, story, check. And we made sure all 3 of us were locked. Anyways, we got Kiki in the live chat. Kiki, congratulations. I saw a little what you were saying to Tony. Congratulations. Kiki is amazing, and love Kiki in the live chat. Atari says it goes pretty deep. For example, St. Elsewhere crossed over with Homicide.
No, we didn't break, dude.
Homicide.
We didn't break. I'm sorry, man. I'm still thinking about that, man. That shit was scary, and we didn't break, man. That was prison.
We didn't break.
That was Stadies. That was fucking county.
Dude,
that was everything.
Was that up to Amherst? We were on our way to.
No, out to Amherst. Yes, out to Amherst. Yep. Dude, that was fucking scary shit, and like we didn't crack.
Dude,
man.
that was the
hardcore interrogation on the side.
We
of
love
the road,
you.
fucking
We
all
love
sorts of
you.
tests.
Wait a second. We love you, and I know you're sometimes listening. So to Nick out there, that was the same trip that we got into the fight with Nick at the Zeppelin tribute band show.
Yeah, and then we got pulled over on the way home too and Nick stopped in the left fucking lane.
Weren't we pulled over for going too slow on the way home?
No, he slowed down. The cop pulled up like super fast behind us because Nick was going like 85, right?
And then he went like 30 or
like
something.
When the cop got up behind us, Nick slowed right the fuck down because, like we're about to get pulled over, right? And then the cop put on his lights, so Nick pulled over. But in the left fucking lane on a highway, he stopped instead of pulling over into the right.
And didn't he just tell us to keep
going? By doing
going?
so, the guy was like, "You fucking idiots! You were going 85, so I'm behind you going 85, and you slow down to 55. I put my lights on so I could go the fuck around you, and you stopped in the left lane." And he looked at his lights. He said, "Swampscott, where the fuck is that? Don't they teach you how to drive in Swampscott?"
And then he told us to go.
How to drive.
Yeah, and then he just told us.
And then
okay,
off we went.
So sorry for that aside, guys. The lone guy.
Yeah, twice we got pulled over, and there was a big drunken episode at the tribute.
Oh yeah, Denzel Washington also made a guest appearance on St. Elsewhere. I forgot about that.
Yep.
And Offrey Woodward. Boy Meets World was awesome.
Everybody came through that fucking.
My dad passed away. Oh, so sorry for your loss, infamous Kiki. Sending lots of love from Joe and I to you and your family. Sorry for your loss, and congratulations for winning an award for your art as well. So sending lots of love to Kiki, one of the most hilarious folks in the world. Kiki is amazing. Pops up on Tony's stream sometimes, and is just really great people. And if you're gonna who's Kiki's boyfriend, I believe, is called Dick Grimes too. The amazing, the illustrious Dick Grimes. So to connect to our Walking Dead discussion here. So Daryl's locked up for a big chunk of the scene, him and his buddy talking. So Daryl's in a cell. Leah confronts Daryl about leaving her at the cabin. It's like a cabin, but pronounced way incorrectly. But he insists he didn't leave her. He came back for her, but he was too late, Joe.
Way too late, Phil.
Joe, I thought you guys were going to leave the concert that I got kicked out for smoking weed in, but you came out after the show was over, and you just were just
Dude, you know the rules.
Yeah, the rule is you come out for your friends.
No, that's not the rule.
Whatever. But I didn't want to get into that. But I did make some friends.
I didn't think they were going to kick you out.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to kick me out. Again, I'm at a hippie show. I'm in a band called String Cheese Incident.
And I had to pick that up and finish it, Phil.
Yeah, and I dropped my joint, and they threw me out. And Joe had to be put out.
I had to hold the line.
You had to hold the line. You had to go all in. Go all in, Joe.
It was only an hour. on the mean streets
No,
of Boston.
No, in
Oh,
fairness, what did I do? I started selling waters. I joined in with a bunch of hippies outside, and I turned into became a salesman. And
Oh, it was Nick. Nick told us not to leave.
Yeah, way to sell the guy that's not here down the river. So Leah,
he bought the tickets, Phil.
It's true.
He bought the tickets.
He's like Phil didn't pay for his ticket. He can wait outside. So Leah, who they act like I should really know, but I do. Says, Daryl, you're being stubborn, or don't really know her, but I kind of know her. Says, Daryl, you're being stubborn. He says, I'm not being stubborn. She's pig-headed then, or hard-headed. And
you know what they call that too? What you have a name for it, don't you? For what happened?
Mashugana?
That wasn't the first time that's happened to you in a circle either, Phil.
No. That's called
the Wonder Joint.
The Wonder Joints. But no, but in fairness, that wasn't the Wonder Joint because I don't share with anybody. I only smoke by myself now. So that wasn't the Wonder Joint. That was all on me. So I was smoking by myself. I don't share shit anymore. So Leah, who okay, anyway, she tries again to stop trying to avoid talking about this episode, Joe. She tries to interrogate. You know, what do you know? Tell me what you know. Then some dude comes in and says, we found Bossy and Turner. And we find out that Bossy and Turner and Hooch here.
Like, I seriously expected Daryl to be like, well, you see, when I was 5, I got lost in the woods. And I lived there for 3 years eating squirrels and insects.
Until Merle came and found me.
My brother found me.
And showed me.
And his friends used to fuck me. Make me do things to other animals.
And then my brother found me and he taught me about the magic of crystal meth.
Yeah, and then I was a meth boy for a long time in a biker gang. But I wasn't really one of them, and they were all racist, and I didn't like being racist, so I was like, let's just leave Merle on the roof with all the zombies coming for him, even though he was my brother. And then I made best friends with the guy that did it to him, some shit like that.
So Nani says, holy shit, String Sheet Incident sounds super familiar. What kind of music? Hippie band. Like fishy kind of stuff, modern hippie.
People that run around looking like this.
Yeah, people that look like Joe.
Like that.
So we hear some crying, some dudes losing his shit. We hear lots of cult-like prayer stuff as we go into the main room, as we're about to meet Pope for the first time. As the shadows appear, G.I. Joe appears. Leah in the shadows saying goodbye. Soon enough, we're introduced to Pope, the leader of the Reapers, our main antagonist for however long until he dies. Now, I don't know. I'm not really feeling him. He's militaristic, religious leader who rules with the iron fist. We saw this during the campfire scene at the end when he's being inducted to the Reapers. Pope figures out that one of his men was injured in the back while fleeing the battle, so he throws him into the bonfire, holds him down until his face sizzles and he has a crown for a king. Now, I believe the reason, or I think this is what this article that I'm copying some of the notes from. I believe that the main reason Pope did this was for Daryl, so he can shows he doesn't appreciate cowardice. Pope asked Daryl earlier about his lack of scratches or burns after the big battle, and Daryl told him he's been through worse. I feel like Pope's onto the fact that Daryl jumped ship on his comrades and wants to show him how serious. Now, I disagree with the writer of that article. I don't think it's any of that shit. Daryl has lots of scars, and now we're going against type. I think in the episode where Daryl was with her last time and he had his shirt off at one point, she noticed how many scars he has. Wasn't there a scene? Am I making up a scene like that? I feel like I saw a scene where somebody...
I don't know. Maybe it was just for us that saw it.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm just thinking of Daryl with his shirt off.
Maybe.
And haha, that's barely an answer, but thanks for making me laugh. No, it's hard to explain. Like, String Cheese Incident is... They're very Fish-like. They're a hippie band that has a drummer and a percussionist. Instead of just being a 4-piece, they have a guy that plays a mandolin and also plays the violin as a lead instrument. So that's what makes them unique amongst hippie bands. They also have a little bit more of a folky feel than Fish, but I do enjoy them, especially the percussion section. I think that's what makes them unique and great, whereas something like a band like Deep Banana Blackout, another hippie band I think still exists, has an excellent horn section and great lead singers that play unique instruments to add to that different thing, whereas Fish is a 4-piece tight organic rock band, and that's what they bring to the hippie medium of music. But each one of them are in that genre of jam bandness. But String Cheese, and Joe's nodding means I think he agrees generally with what I'm saying. String Cheese's highlight is the guy who plays the violin and the drummer. And that's their interesting aspect. I'm not a huge fan of the vocals, but the jam aspect of it's good.
It's the fish from out west.
Yeah,
Basically.
it's Denver's version of Fish. Their home stadium is Red Rocks. That's where they played most of their shows in their career. Have been out at Red Rocks. They're from that area, and
it's a place I've yet to go to that I've been wanting.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there like twice to see String Cheese. I would love to see. Recently, actually, the Black Crowes just played there, and I was jealous that I wasn't there to see them. Who I'm a huge Black Crowes fan, and now
I've seen them like 9 times.
I've seen them about 8 or 9 times as well.
10 times.
Were you with us the time we went when they were supposed to have been playing like a small club, and we went to wait in that gigantic line?
Yeah, the OD Jubilee.
Yeah,
the box of nitrous.
Exactly, and we did all that. Okay, anyway, sorry. We're making up any excuse not to talk about The Walking Dead here.
Yeah, they played a secret night in Boston at the Paradise Rock Club
Under an assumed name.
This was in like 1994.
Right when Remedy
summer
came
'94. Yeah, and it was under an assumed name. They were doing this a lot, not just but I think like WBC.
Yeah, they were
big acts to come in under.
They were called
under
like
names that super fans would be able to recognize.
Right. It was their original name that the studio didn't change. I forget what it was, but it was some random
OD
name.
Jubilee.
Oh, was that their name? OD Jubilee. Okay.
That was it. OD Jubilee.
Anyways, let's continue before we.
Well, that was the name of them that they were playing under that night.
But
OD Jubilee.
Let's finish this recap so we can put to bed this episode. Now that Von Kaiser comes from Punch Out and says God is here and he's angry and I'm angry too, and the music makes me feel like I should feel angry because it sucks, and then they make this guy out that he has wrath, and they get this like
oh my god,
all this music. So Leah tells Daryl that she was a mercenary soldier. She fought alongside many other Reapers. We already talked a lot about this in the hills of Afghanistan as their leader, playing to the heartstrings 101. She tells the story of them, that Pope kept them alive. Again, we kind of already talked about all this. She found her way home, and yada, yada, yada. She said, you let me go. He says, I didn't leave you. Then she mentions it wouldn't have worked anyway because this world is all fucked up. He asks, is this your family or you? And she says, I'm one and the same. Then we get a confession, whether it's real or part of it. Despite everything, I still care about you, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And then Daryl went right along with it. He told her about he tells her that Maggie's the leader, tells her about a skinny guy that won't shut up, and tells him about a priest with a shotgun. He does also bullshit a little bit by saying that they have way more guys than...
At least 24. That's more than your 15.
More than your 15. And then this is like Pokemon.
Heavily armed.
My water...
Yes, because these guys that we just killed were heavily armed. Okay, you lying bastard.
Joe, I don't know if you've ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the Pokemon cartoon, but it reminded me of a scene in one of those. My water-based Pokemon is totally going to beat your fire-based Pokemon, Joe, because I have water power. You
don't. Here's the thing. If you're going to... The best lie is told with a truth.
A half-truth.
No, with a truth. The best lie is told with the truth. It helps ground it, shit like that, so they say, whatever. Now, here's the thing. There was no need for him to lie, and his lie isn't going to accomplish what he thinks it's going to accomplish in that situation.
It's true. It's whatever.
Now, the full lie isn't. The talking in code, okay, that was good. That was very good. But then you basically told them you broke their code in a week because you heard them talking about getting 24 more men. That's something that they're going to talk about in code if they're talking in code the whole fucking time. Are you kidding me? So there was no need to offer up that. You could have just left it at they were talking in code.
Yeah, you could have.
And left it with the 3 truthful things about the woman. And then the lie is they're talking in code, which means they're a lot more organized than you think.
So Old Torf says, Old Torf 520 says, more string cheese talk, less Walking Dead talk. Let's just talk about a review of a string cheese concert. We need a dedicated hippie music stream at some point. Joe and I would absolutely do that. In fairness, do the writers know any way of knowing it would air around 9? Yes, because they do know production schedules of timetables when they get to plot out seasons. That is a thing. Phil must have nice nieces and nephews. I am I do have 2 half-sisters, but I have one very smart, very nice niece. I have, my cousins are kind of like my brothers and sister, and my cousin has some kids that I consider my niece. Joe is an awesome uncle. We actually did a whole podcast once for one of Joe's nephews on Cheers. Simply because he requested it. He did say they broke their code. He said he slipped. Still implausible. So, anyways, so then we get the confession. She tells him all of that. Lied and said there was too many people. She's like, don't judge us. You've killed so many people too. And obviously this is before we see him burn someone's face. But she says, we're okay people. We're just trying to stay alive. So whatever. And he changes perspective. He says something can't change the perspective. Finally, he says he wants to meet Pope. Let's see Pope. I'm on your side now.
When am I going to get to meet this Pope?
Yeah, when am I going to meet this Pope? Another character's name is Pope is Stacy Keach's character's name in Prison Break is called the Pope. So off to see the Pope and Leah. She tells Pope about Daryl. We are outnumbered, and she's trying to get Daryl to be joined into the group. He yells at her for going off with an old boyfriend and says, I just see a guy. This is one of those moments where his accent's all over the place. It comes and it goes. I don't see a potential guy. I see someone that just wants to get into your pants. You remind me a little of that character.
He already was in my pants.
That was exactly what I was about to say, Joe. We were living together for 6 months or so, however long it was. I'm pretty sure he's done it before, and we're just trying to reconnect. And the way this guy's voice was going all over the place with his cadence reminded me of the character on Invincible, not in a good way. You know, the robot voice guy when his voice was going all over here, but it was like done in a jokey way. This guy's voice was doing like, his accents were all over the place.
My ex-boyfriend. What do you think? I'm fucking 16. I'm a grown fucking woman, straight fresh from war and living in an apocalypse. I was living with this man for fucking how many months in the fucking woods or how many weeks in the fucking woods?
Little girl.
Hell, even one fucking night. Have you seen that man
Listen,
down there?
little girl.
He's a hot motherfucker. And Dog liked him, so...
Listen, little girl, we don't have sex because the Lord doesn't appreciate that kind of thing.
Right? Yeah, I'm a virgin, Pope. I'm a virgin.
I mean, look at him. Look at the Pope.
Certainly haven't fucked any of my brothers.
Yeah, the Pope definitely, he looks like a fuckhead. Seriously, what is even the appeal of this show anymore? I don't know. At this point, I think Joe and I have talked about this disorder many times before. We actually did a whole podcast on it.
You know what the appeal is?
TV Stockholm Syndrome. Yes, Joe.
No.
What do you think?
I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
Tell
Seriously.
us.
The appeal is, when do you get to talk this foully about anything, and be right?
It's true, especially in this day and age. We need a sounding board that we can just be ravenous on.
I get through the rest of the week with a smile on my face, mostly because of this cathartic event.
It's true.
Every Sunday night.
When Joe was working still his old job and he was missing these Sundays of coming out here and talking about The Walking Dead, and he could only join me to talk about good shows when we talked about, he was yelling at a lot more people. He was getting in trouble at work because he didn't have this show to rage on for 2.5 hours every week with me. Pope is like, I didn't marry you, so no sex. Cheers was Joe's nephew. I thought that was all for me. My feelings are hurt right now. We did it for both you guys, but no, it was a request from Joe's nephew. 100% of request for months. He was in the chat. He's like, guys, this is great what you're doing, but where the F is my freaking Cheers review, you dumbasses? So basically, he held our faces to the fire until we very willingly finally did the Cheers review, which was a lot of fun to do. Right on, Joe. LOL. Touche. I don't think The Walking Dead. You guys in the live chat tonight are freaking cracking me up. The live chat is wild tonight, even more so than usual, and you guys are killing it. Thank you for helping make our Sunday night thing a thing again. As finally we're here 4 weeks in a row, a whole month of actually doing the podcast every week. So I definitely feel like we're starting to get our rhythm doing this again, for good or for bad. So let's continue here. He says, I love you. I love you. She says, I gave it up when I
love you more.
I love you, Jax. Tell me you love me.
I love you
more. I'm rewatching Sons of Anarchy season 4 right now. Gemma, tell me you love me. So she says,
oh, no.
I gave it.
What episode is it? Does Gemma and Jax get it on? I forget. What season? What episode?
I think you're confusing that with Boardwalk Empire. Spoiler alert.
No, I'm pretty sure they do.
No, I think you're.
I'm sure she sleeps with Jax at some point.
No, I definitely think you're huge spoiler alert for Boardwalk Empire. I think you're confusing him with Jimmy Normandy there. So continue here. Leah says Daryl is useful. Let's use him. Oh yes, I love him. Who said anything about love? It's such a weird conversation between the two of them. Off to the three dicks talking shit to Daryl because he's actually going to meet the Pope. The Pope's going to come in. And I'm going to yada yada a lot of this. Pope and Daryl meet each other. They talk about the Reapers. He tells a story about how, which is honestly, and again, Angela King talked about this in the after episode scenes, something that happens pretty common when there's a fire, it will jump houses. You know, it won't go to every house, it will jump a house or something like that. So Pope took this and saw this as a sign from God. This is a message from God, like the Blues Brothers, and means we're the chosen people. And yeah, and he pours some booze for Daryl. They have a drink, and he comes off like a completely different character at times in this scene. Like he's calm, he's talking to him, and then they come out to the scene afterwards where he introduces Daryl. Everyone's like, "You were right about this guy." He's back to being like loud and obnoxious, and that's when he basically asks Daryl if he's hungry. He feeds him. He takes him out back. And I mean, I'm yada-yadaing the end of this, but this is basically what happens here. Takes him out back, feeds him food, and then eventually he takes the other dude and throws his other dude's face into the fire, burns his face, melts his face. In the episode, wait, I'm just ending it, then hold the thought. Then the episode ends with the guy's face melting and everyone looking stupid. End of episode.
The whole like, oh no, there's gas on the floor now. You would have smelled that shit before you even saw it.
Oh yeah, I forgot the scene. They got trapped inside a burning building, and they escaped from it because they too need to learn how to be chosen by fire.
But no. Like, Daryl's pulling on the wood and he can't get it out. It looks like old ass fucking. Anyway, right? Until she's like, "Here, break this," and he does, and he uses a crowbar. I'm like, really? He couldn't pull that wood off? Come on now.
It took him a little bit, but he did do it.
It was stupid looking. He had to use the crowbar to get it off, and then he punched the window instead of using the crowbar. Instead of using one of the planks to break the window, let me punch it. Let me take the chance that I'll like cut open my fucking wrist, my fingers when I go to pull my hand back because the shards didn't break right. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, because any wound shouldn't still be like almost like, you know, death sentence without antibiotics and other things. Like, are you kidding me?
Santivia, I was literally just talking about the other day. You're 100% correct, Joe. It's just horrible. Oh, speaking of which, we got a voicemail from our good buddy Tim. Let's see what Tim has to say tonight.
Yeah, well, so podcast. And I think you know what they will sing regards to. Yeah, and they just for the TFO. We're brought to you by you. So please like and share. Also, if you want to donate some money, because every watching Walking Dead, which means that we got the heavily medicated. And that's not right. So anyway, give us money. Or, give me money. Give somebody money. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Well, shut the fuck up.
Thank you so much, Tim, for another classic Tim or Merle Davis message coming to us for Joe and I to shut the fuck up. I didn't take a shot for Tim. Tim, that's you might not a super chat, but that's worth you leaving a voicemail is always worth a super chat donation for me. And Joe and I definitely need to get a little bit of shut the fucking up in here in some ways. You know, I always need it. Joe always needs it.
Shut the fuck up, Joe. Shut the fuck up, Tim.
There we go. We definitely need to shut the fuck up. Emerald says, "What? That's part of it. It's figuring out the code." Tim, we love you, buddy. I love Cheers. It was one of the best shows ever. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got to shut the fucks up. Right there on that one. So that was this episode of The Walking Dead. I kind of lost it at the end because ultimately, everyone drink, it is it's just a very small story. This is the main thing that bothers me right now because I've accepted the quality. And last season, when we got in the middle of the Whispers arc, when I thought things got okay, it's because they sort of slowed things down a little bit. Not slowed things down. They actually had a path to follow. There was a storyline. They were in a war. It could kind of depict
they were
things.
like, okay, great, I can finally wrap this shit up and move on. But
Right. Every episode,
Angela took over before when the Whisperers
right?
started.
But no, I'm saying she did a decent enough job with that because it was.
But she was the whole Whispers storyline was her.
Yeah, but I'm saying she did a good enough job with the Whispers thing. I didn't mind.
But that was just a repeat of everything else.
Yeah, but it was better than this because at least each episode.
Because this is a repeat of everything else.
It is, but this is a repeat in a even worse way because it's yada yada. Like at least all of that, each episode was framed in a way. Joe, follow me here for a second. Each episode was framed in a way that from beginning to end, it didn't feel like there was wasted time in the episodes. This episode, last season with the Whisper stuff. This episode tonight seemed like it.
I know what you
seemed
meant.
like it seemed like it seemed to me, anyways. Like everything that happened in this episode could have happened in 10 minutes of a part of another episode. This was a padded out episode of a padded out storyline that could be a 1 episode arc. This could be a 1 episode character introduced in 1 episode, and you're done. But they're going to stretch this out for 4 episodes. The Whisper arc
because we have another charismatic crazy leader doing his
we don't.
Bullshit.
Joe,
No
we
kidding.
don't.
No, we don't. We never have.
We have.
They've all been rinse and repeat since the governor.
The governor? Was the governor the only? No, Gareth was at least a little unique. I like Gareth.
Oh, why? Because we eat people?
Yeah, and he was a little...
Because they like Soylent Green?
No. The reason why I thought Gareth was a little bit different was because I feel like his tactic...
Because he was with Lieutenant Yar?
No, because I liked the way he dealt with people. He didn't deal with people in a crazy, whacked out way. And I actually rewatched...
Oh, no, he just cut off a leg and ate it in front of him.
But he did it in a very organized...
That's crazy and
way.
whacked out, Phil.
I liked it.
That's crazy and whacked out.
At that point that the show happened, he was still different enough from the governor to be unique.
Crazy and whacked out is come join our safe commune.
What you're
and
doing
then
now,
you in like cattle.
Joe, what you're doing now is revisionist history. You're taking something you used to like. You used to like in the past. You used to like the Terminus arc and thought it was a good arc, and he was an interesting.
I thought it started out good.
No, you thought that whole arc. Do we have to go to the tapes where you said you liked that shit? That was a decent arc because Gareth was at least unique, whereas every other villain I feel has been a little bit more copycat.
Because they didn't eat people.
Eating people.
The Soylent Green. I don't know. They've all been rinse and repeat.
No, I think you just want to wipe your ass with all of it now, instead of admitting that some of it was okay before.
I still say that it was a good show at some point. And you're going back to Gareth now. We're talking about the Whisperers, and that shit was drawn out. That shit was very drawn out. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that shit is not over with yet for the very specific reason that we haven't found fucking what's her name yet, who was lost in the cave that crawled out.
Oh, what's her name? Yeah, the deaf girl's sister.
Yeah, like, so the storyline from the Whisperers is still kind of going on.
And Lizard also adds, several people don't feel like King did a good job with the Whispers. Phil, I'll add the Phil.
Right.
She had a good story laid out for her. Now,
and she fucked it up.
And she fucked it all up. Maybe that's what I mean. Maybe I mean I kind of like the Whispers storyline, and maybe I should read the graphic novel. If you remember,
I said I like the way they wrapped it up because they didn't draw out the ending to it, but they drew out the rest of it. They certainly did for a whole season.
But I think it.
Right?
I think it almost
fucked up leader doing fucked up shit, saying fucked up shit, being mean to her fucking own people, killing her own fucking people to prove a point to the rest of the fucking people that I'm a crazy bitch and I'll kill you if you don't listen to me. Why the fuck should I stay?
Now Lizard says, I'm with Phil on Terminus though. Lure them in sweetly and then snatch them. Others come off as rude and dominant like Negan, whereas Gareth, they had all those signs leading up to like come to a safe haven, and they even welcomed them in a very polite, nice way to turn on them. I'm not saying Gareth wasn't crazy or they weren't crazy. I felt like it was a different vessel than we've gotten with the other big bads that all are more similar. I feel like Gareth was probably and Mayor Joe Hale, and the Claimers were a little unique too, I guess. And a couple of the Wolves were kind of neat when we had like one-off villains that came on, did something different. But I would say that was my one thing about I like the way the Terminus, the more Terminus storyline was one of my favorite of all the Walking Dead history, because of it seemed like it was going to be a good thing, and then it ended up being a brick wall, even up to the point when Gareth first introduced himself and was like, "Hi everybody, welcome to Terminus. You've made it." In that way, like they've made it to the Commonwealth this season. Like it was that kind of moment, and it ended up being, "No, you're about to be eaten." I thought that was a awesome sort of reveal at the moment, and the pacing of it was done really well. But I agree with you, Joe, that 99% of the big bads that they've created on The Walking Dead are eerily similar.
Rinse and repeats. Yep.
Talk.
And then they keep doing, and then they keep having these guys do the same shit. Like not even just like the same shit amongst themselves. That's what makes them rinse and repeat. But like, do the age-old TV tropes, like throw someone in the fucking fire, like, oh, we're gonna cliffhang this brutal murder, but we're gonna make a murder 2 people.
Yep.
Like it was an attempt at something original through an tired and old trope that ends up not working for the same reasons it always doesn't work, which we've highlighted many times.
Now, Joe, did you watch scenes from next week?
No,
okay.
Because I was running behind. I was fast forwarding through commercials.
And you were trying to eat pasta too, like delicious.
You saw me. I was fucking done. Oh, that shit was good.
Joe is eating delicious pasta right at the beginning here. So anyways, next week's episode looks like we're gonna have a storyline that bounces from multiple different locations. Right now in The Walking Dead, as it stands right now in the show that we have right now, do you prefer when they focus on one storyline slowed down like an episode like this, or do you prefer them bouncing to multiple different locations? Or do you not give a flying fuck?
I've said it before. I don't mind the focus episodes. I said it right from the beginning. They've been doing these kind of episodes.
Yeah, this isn't different. This isn't different from The Walking Dead. They usually have a few of these types of episodes mixed in.
Right. And I don't mind them at all. I can see how they could be annoying to people if they aren't your favorite characters or you don't like the characters and things like that. So
where would you rank?
But I don't mind them.
Where would you rank tonight in these first 4 episodes? I know you're going to say all shit, but
yep.
Do you like any? Did you like any of these more than other ones?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Tonight's episode that was slower. Did you enjoy any of tonight's episode?
No, cause like I told you. Cheap, dirty, and betrayed, dude. Like,
if people didn't
this
tune
was
in,
horrible. This was horrible. This was how much, like, this was literally someone in an executive room saying, no, I don't like any original ideas. Go through all the old scripts and then go through all the old scripts from every other TV show and TV movie. And if it's not in there, I don't want it on The Walking Dead.
Joe, do you know what makes me really happy about that little mini rant of yours, but beyond anything else, is that these years, 10 years, however long we're getting on that we've been doing these random podcasts, I finally have influenced you enough to change the way you say the word idea to ideas. Yeah, I've said it so much. I've mispronounced the word.
Bell's palsy. So,
okay, so fair enough. But still, I'm taking credit for unfortunately influencing your diction.
And I'll have to rewind that. Let me get a time check here.
We get a time check. That was about 1:38, where Joe says ideas, just like me. He says it exactly like me. When does the precious die? We got about what time? We got about 10 minutes left here, and we're gonna wrap it up. Any more questions you have about this particular episode of The Walking Dead? Now is the time. Either call and leave a voicemail at 781-990-8509, or throw it in the comment section. Also, we'll take any comments or questions about anything right now. It doesn't have to be Walking Dead related. But I think both of us aren't really feeling the beginning part of this season. I kind of like the first part of the opening episode a little bit more than Joe, but other than that, I'm pretty much with Joe point for point on the shittiness right now. I think our biggest disagreement at this point in The Walking Dead is my my labia licking of Jeffrey D. Morgan's Negan right now because I need to find something on any show I'm watching that I have to fanboy. Like
the half castrated Negan.
Yeah, I just like Jeffrey D.
Like he's lost one of his balls, but he still has the other one. Negan.
Yeah, he's an old pitcher that's lost the fastball and he's working junk now. He's a junk pitcher now. He's rubbing Crisco on the ball, throwing it. But he used to throw 90.
No. He's more like the catcher from Major League.
Speaking of Mandarin, did you see Shang-Chi yet, Phil? I thought it was pretty good. Final battle felt a bit phoned in at times. Otherwise, a solid Marvel martial art film. I have not seen it yet, but I have heard generally really good things about it. I've heard it was just a quality martial arts picture.
I like Kim's Convenience.
Yeah,
so, I like the kid in it. So
yeah, me too. I like the actor. So it's definitely something I will watch when it gets added to.
Guy, and he's not a kid.
Toss, Joe. We're much older.
I am only 26 years old.
I am 78. I am 78. But I almost want to talk about all this Spider-Man stuff. Has also been out there a lot this week. We're gonna throw in some quick stuff about movies. Are you spoiler alert potentially for the new Spider-Man movie? The new Spider-Man trailer came out, and they had clips of all the different villains that we've seen, and from that they've been rumored. The Doc Ock from there was a bit of Electro from the Andrew Garfield movies. We saw Doc Ock at the end. We heard the Green Goblin. So it looks like there is going to be some sort of Spider-Verse to it all, and the rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire both making cameos as well in the movie too. I've generally liked most of the Spider-Man movies, so I'm excited for this, and I think this is an obvious studio influence of the success of the
I gotta
animated
say the Andrew Garfield movies were bad.
I don't think they were bad because of his performance of Spider-Man, though. I think they were just bad.
No,
movies.
they were just bad.
They were just bad movies. I think he did a decent enough job as Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Number 3 was bad.
The third one, yes, that was bad.
Number 2 was
great. I thought number 2 was the best of the 3.
Yeah, and number 1 was good.
Did you like the
first one?
Did you like the 2?
And generally speaking, I liked all 3 Tobey Maguire ones.
Do you like the new Kids 2 movies?
I do like this new kid.
Tom Holland, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite of all of them. I think he most encompasses, when I read the comics and saw the cartoons, who Spider-Man is.
I didn't like his second movie really that much. Was it Far From Home
with Mysterio stuff?
Yeah, I didn't really dig it. I thought it was kind of like a copy in a lot of ways of itself, of the first movie.
Fair enough. Charlie Cox is claiming that his shooting schedule wouldn't allow him to have a cameo in the movie. I feel so conflicted about I think everyone here knows, myself specifically, and I think I can speak for Joe on this as well. We're both huge fans of the Netflix Marvel Cinematic Universe, minus that other show we're not going to talk about, but we're a big fan of all the other 4. I'm a fan of all 4 series besides the one I'm not going to talk about. But specifically, we'll talk about.
So I want to make this clear. I like Daredevil season 1, most of season Punisher season, whatever one that was. I like the Punisher series. I like Jessica Jones season 1 and some of, I guess, season 2. All the whatever gathered together shit sucks. The Luke Cage season 1 was decent.
It was. I think the first half of Luke Cage season 1 was really good. Once
and then got really shitty.
Once you take the absolute best actor in the world, one of the best actors in the world, and spoiler alert, he disappears at a certain point in the series. I do think, but I generally like it because I liked Michael Coulter's performance of the character. I didn't think, whereas in that other series that we're not going to talk about, everything about that one sucked.
Yes, right from.
And but to my point is, I'm not sure if I want to see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio in Disney's hands. I don't know if I want to see a completely neutered version of what made those shows amazing. Same with The Punisher. Like, if you're, and I guess we're going to deal with this with, we talked about this a little bit last week, I think. We're going to deal with this with Deadpool too. How far is Disney going to let Ryan Reynolds and the Deadpool team go with Deadpool 3? And how far would they let a creative team go with Daredevil? Or would they try to Disneyify Daredevil? Or would they release it on Hulu like they should because they own Hulu too and not release it on Disney Plus?
Disney's got an issue at hand, and that's the thing. They have to, if they want to really compete in this world,
the streaming world,
like in the world, right? They have to start making adult content. Not adult, not
family, not all ages content.
Not all ages content, but not. And I'm not talking about X-rated shit, but like they have to start really
like Daredevil
putting out, like some R-rated movies. They need to do it. They need to do it frequently. They need to be able to focus on just
Joe.
adults.
You know they used to do in our time period. I've talked about this before. They had several production companies. One of the biggest ones was Touchstone Films, which I believe a lot of movies. You'd have to look it up. There's a lot of movies you would have heard came out on Touchstone. I want to say maybe even Twins, which is a little family friend, but still adult enough to be an adult-centric movie. Disney has done that through parent companies before, not under the main Disney brand. And I think they need to do that now with some of these properties. To continue, if they want to do a Daredevil, if they want to do, in some cases, the X-Men right, in a way to, like, now that they own that property and do a full-fledged, awesome, like, Wolverine thing, like, and we don't have to talk about your hate for Logan here, but, like, being like but seriously, Disney wouldn't make a movie like a Logan even. You know, it's too dark with him slashing shit, like, whatever you think of that movie, Joe. They wouldn't make that movie. They wouldn't allow a movie like The Joker to come out.
And see, then they need to have.
I know they don't own The Joker. I just mean a movie like The Joker.
I know. Then they need to have another brand that they're willing to release these titles on and connect it to their streaming app, or just have or say, you know what, we're not just about kids, we're about the adults too, and we're gonna make actual content that adults want to watch while their children are asleep.
Lizard says, well, hey, lots of X-rated stuff redoes Disney stuff, and I hear it sells great.
It does sell great. It does sell great. Really great. But
I watched the Snow Wife and her Seven Dwarfs one that was really hot. Disney has produced R-rated films before, like The Rock. The Rock was a good movie with Sean Connery and Nick Cage, and lots of other. I
just want to hear that right. You said Snowed White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Is that what I said? She was
Snowed Wife?
Snowed Wife and the Seven Dwarfs because she's all coked up or something like that. It's all about this girl Snow White doing some coke and why the dwarfs get their
Snowed White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Atari Dad says yes. Two movies that people might be surprised that Joe hates is Logan and Birdman. He hates both those movies.
Birdman is fucking
fuck
trash.
You. Fuck
Start
you.
to fucking end.
Fuck you.
Almost walked out of the theater for the first time in my fucking life, but sat through that shit. Only went to see it because it was Michael Keaton. Trash piece of shit movie. Katie was with me in walking out on that crap. And Logan, it's not that I hated it. I just thought it was really a piece of shit movie. It made no sense whatsoever.
That was the best review I've ever heard in my life on something. I might disagree with every fucking stupid word that came out of your mouth, but that was amazing.
That bird movie was fucking bird shit. Let me tell you. Oh.
Well, Devin and Joe agree on that one then. Logan was Terminator. Lots of X-rated stuff. I want to watch that too. If Tyrion's God is in the show, I'm out. I like Luke Cage. The villain from the first half of season 1 wasn't as good, but damn was he entertaining. Amazing in that first half. They made Foggy so hateable. By the end they did. And The Punisher was a great series. I think there are a lot of great characters in that universe. And a lot of great casting jobs of each one, but I think the three that you most likely will see again, if you are to see them, is Charlie Cox's Daredevil, D'Onofrio, and Barenthal is playing the Punisher. I think if you see Marvel do anything with any of those three characters, I seriously doubt Marvel and Feige are going to do anything with Jessica Jones, even though there is some Miss Marvel stuff with her she could show up. The character of Jessica Jones could theoretically show up in a what do you call it? In some movies with an X-Men thing with Rogue and Miss Marvel and that whole storyline, but she's not going to. And if she does, it's going to be warped, and Kristen Ritter's not going to play the character. But I do think you'll see John Barenthal play the Punisher again somewhere, even if it's in a Spider-Man movie or some big movie like a Secret Wars movie when that finally comes out. And I think you will see Charlie Cox as a Daredevil, even if it's a different Daredevil. And it's hard for me to imagine that the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, before this whole thing dies and putters out and we're on to a different thing in the mainstream movie making world, that we'll see a whole multiple generations and phase after fucking phase of Marvel movies without seeing the Kingpin. Like, I know we saw one version of the Kingpin in one of those early Marvel movies, but I mean in this Marvel...
What? Who?
What's his name did? Michael, what movie was it that the Kingpin showed up? Was it the other Punisher movie or the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie? I believe there was a Kingpin in it. But I mean in the Marvel Prime Marvel Universe thing that we have right now, we have not seen a Kingpin yet. And
D'Onofrio's...
They can't cast
Who's gonna say yes? Who's gonna say yes?
To play in that part.
Who's gonna say, yeah, I'll do it.
I can do better than Vincent D'Onofrio.
Wait, did you see Vincent D'Onofrio's? No, I didn't. And then they go watch it.
Do you know who's gonna say it? Do you know who's gonna say yes?
Do that?
Jared Leto, because he tried to do the stupid Joker after Heath Ledger, and he tried to do that Cholo Joker shit. And if he's fucking idiot enough to do that shit, and I know you like those movies, Joe, but if he's dumb enough to do that after Heath Ledger being the next live action, besides
those are just those movies. They're just. They entertain.
Joe,
they're pieces of shit too.
Joe, I know
they do their job.
I know you would never give this show a shot, and it's not a show you would ever like. But I do have to give special celebration because so much in the character of the Joker, a lot of love goes to Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix now, Mark Hamill, all these people that did really amazing jobs playing the Joker. I need to say, people that maybe slept or hate Gotham and think Gotham sucks or whatever. The kid from Shameless, Ian from Shameless, Colin something. What's the hell? I forget the actor's name. He plays the Joker.
I like that.
Killed it.
I liked the first couple of seasons. I hated Fish. I was glad she wasn't on season 2.
But
I kind of lost me after a point. But I thought he was great.
It came back. He was He's probably besides underrated as a live action Joker. I think he killed it in that part. Yep. And yep. I think so. There were a lot of underrated things on Gotham if you slept on it, and especially on binge watching when you can skip things and skip and choose. Fish, played by Jada Pinkett Smith, was the worst character. Skip everything you see with her. But Nigma was very good. They cast Nigma really well. They cast the Joker really well. Bullock was a good character. Bullock and Jim worked too. I think Gotham is not CW shit. Arrow, Flash crap. It's actually one step better. So I agree. Give Gotham a shot if you haven't given it a shot. Just for whatever. I know him from Shameless. Shameless. He plays he plays Ian on Shameless. Is the actor who does a very, very good Joker, and I hope he gets to play a crazy villain sometime later in his life because he does it exceptionally well.
Agreed.
So everybody, I think it's about time for you to get that Pavlovian dog response, Atari Dad. Thank you everyone for joining us this week. It was a lot of fun, even though this wasn't a fun episode. This was probably the most fun I've had at our podcast so far back these 4 weeks. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and especially thank you to Joe. Thank you for joining us, Joe. We'll be back next week to talk about another episode, and I will be back on Tuesday evening or Tuesday afternoon, sometime on Tuesday, to talk about the most recent episode of Only Murders in the Building. So if you're checking that show out and you want to join in the discussion on that, join me every Tuesday. I will be by myself again this week, but I will be joined eventually by my friend Evan towards the end of the season to try to figure out this murder mystery comedy, lighthearted stuff with Steve Martin Short, and surprisingly entertaining Selena Gomez, who I've never seen before in other than tabloids as Justin Bieber's ex-girlfriend. So I don't really know anything about her, and I'm not familiar with her music. But I now kind of want to watch Wizards of Waverly Place. She's very good on the show, and she fits in with Steve Martin and Martin Short's chemistry really well. And it's funny, it's off the cuff, silliness, nothing special, but a good, lighthearted, entertaining kind of show. And I'm talking about it every week, so join me on one of these live streams. Make sure you subscribe and follow. Everyone in the live chat, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for the live chats and the super chats. Lizard, Atari Dad, O.L. Torf, Merle, Davis, all Emerald Eyes. Let's see who else is in here. Santivia. Love all of you guys. Thrash Face. Love you too, buddy. Take care, everyone. Talk to you guys next week. Peace. Oh, wow.